While the mainstream media takes its victory lap over Kamala Harris being the person of history, this is significant, the first woman of color to be on a major political ticket as the vice president, as the conservative media attempts to explain and set at correct the record of Kamala Harris, I got a different take on all of it that probably everybody's going to cringe over. Yes, we know that Kamala Harris slept her way to the top. Can you say Willie Brown? Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that she was the type of prosecutor who was more interested in her win record than in actually doing justice. Therefore, there were people wrongfully prosecuted. There were people that were buried without a prayer of being able to exonerate themselves because evidence was suppressed, things that would have actually exonerated them. I mean, she is vile with a capital V. What she did to Justice Kavanaugh during his hearings, terrible, awful. Her presidential campaign, I mean, she is fake, she is phony. You know, on the one hand, bragging about all the pot smokers she put in prison, while she herself then kidding on the Urban Talk radio show that she had herself smoked pot and listened to rap artists that hadn't even recorded at the time she was bragging about having listened to them. She is a liar. She is a fraud. She is a puppet, which makes her a perfect political candidate. That I get. I know why Joe Biden has picked her, or I should say Team Biden, because she is not going to have an agenda of her own to further. She will do the bidding of those within the Team Biden who will actually be running the country, because we know Joe won't be. But I want you to think about this in a little different light. You won't hear this anywhere else. Think about what's happened this summer. All of the protesting that's gone on. We have the cancel culture has risen to the top, and no longer are they just a radical fringe few. They are now the dominant voice on Twitter, on CNN and mainstream media, and they're holding sway with the Democratic Party as we see statues being toppled, cities burned to the ground, and in Portland now, they're not going to be prosecuted. We've canceled their criminal charges. And so now, all of the victory laps that they have been able to take this summer, including having Aunt Jemima removed from a syrup bottle. I want you to think about it like this. They've taken her off the syrup bottle and stuck her on the Democratic ticket. Pastor Marty, that's over the top even for you. Think about it. While you're taking this victory lap, I want some of you black liberals, black Democrats to think about, you went from being the president under Barack Obama to now you've been relegated to the vice president, which everybody knows is nothing. It's ceremonial. It's a picture. Kamala Harris and other women of color like Tulsi Gabbard were actually running for the presidency. And the Democratic Party made sure that their campaigns went nowhere. So they don't really want a person of color at the top of the ticket. They'll give you a token seat at the table, and that's all you're going to get. Now, you can blast Donald Trump and you can blast the conservatives all you want to. But at the end of the day, the Trump administration actually has been very good for the black community. Great on jobs, great on the economy. And who was it that pushed and got the criminal reform bill through? Well, that was President Trump. Who was it that created these draconian laws and policies and procedure which no one argues hit the black communities far harder than any other community within the United States. Oh, that would be Joe Biden and his famous crime bill that he loves to take laps of, I did that, I did that. Who was the rogue prosecutor out on the West Coast that likes to take victory laps for the pot smokers she threw in prison and threw the key away? Well, that would be Kamala Harris. So which party is it that has kept you down, oppressed, in the ghetto, on welfare, dependent, never really helping you get beyond that, because then you might start thinking for yourself and then you might start voting against them? Who is it that always wants you beholding to them and feeling like you've got to, because your very sustenance and existence depends on them? So what do? They pat you on the head and they throw you a token. Kamala, you can be vice president, which is nothing. If they wanted to make her something, because you'd already decided, Joe lost his mind, Biden, the sniffer, needs to be at the top of the ticket. Okay. Well, Kamala could have been Attorney General, Secretary of State. At least those positions are, there's some pomp and circumstance to them. There's some authority. There's influence. VP, huh? Token. And you're taking a victory lap? Okay. Well, you certainly have come a long way from the bottle, the syrup bottle, that is, to being the token. Instead of taking a victory lap, you ought to be looking at each other saying, we've been had again. We've been lied to again. We have been taken for granted and taken advantage of again. Wake up. Boom. Can't wait to read the comments on this one. Hey, thanks for watching. Give us a thumbs up and a like. Share this video to your social media platforms if you dare. And make sure that you have smacked the bell and clicked the word all to receive notification of my next rant.